Hello and welcome. Let's continue our discussion on CSS selector. So I have created a file here. Let's continue by starting from the class ID and star selector. We have discussed 3 of these and we will do 3 more in this video. So what we are going to start here, we have an style tag here. As you know, in between them we can start writing our CSS. What does a star means? A star means everything. Sometimes you just want to apply a property for every tag in your element. You cannot list all of them. You can, but it will take a lot of time, and of course it will take a lot of space. That's why you just select a star. A star means everything. In every programming language, almost a star means everything. You select everything and say everything must have a font family of, let's say, sans serif. Now in our document, when we have a section, we have div, everything here. If I refresh the page, everything will have the font family of sans serif. Let's say this is h1, and under the h1 we have a p tag. Inside this one we have a lorem ipsum, and we have the same font family for this. If I say everything has a color of red, as you know, this is a property, this is the value. This is the most important thing in CSS. You know about the property, the value. The property, the value. And let's refresh, and as you can see, now it is red. And star means everything. What about the hash and class selector? As you can see, there is class and ID selector. These are called class and ID. Sometimes you have let's say you have an h1 here, and h1 in your web page you have a lot of h1. What if you want to select one of these specifically? You cannot just come and say we have h1. It will select all h1. What if you want to select the another one? Let's say we have another h1 here, the second one, lorem of 5, let's say second. And if I come here, refresh the page, this is the first one and this is the second one. How if you select the second one? If you select the second one, you cannot, because if you write h1 like this, it will not work. That's why you can give them a property. A property is the an attribute here, the attribute, and now you can give the attribute of class a value. Class give ask you for a name whatever can be. It should not start with a number. It can be it can be ended with the number. So you can say my headline, something like this. Anything, headline, my headline, anything you can write. And when you come here, just write dot my headline. Whatever you write here, just put it here with a dot before that. Dot is the indication of class selector in CSS. If you want to select something by their class attribute, just put a dot here. Now you select that one. Now if you say the color should be green, the color of the second one should change to green. As you can see, now this is a green color here. And you can change the font size, the font family, everything like that. This is class selector. The other one is ID selector. ID is the same. You just change this class to ID. There is a little difference between them. I will tell you about that one. And instead of the dot, you will put hash here. It is not the only difference. If I come here and refresh my page, again it is working the same. This is green and this is working. But one thing you should remember, when you design for the modern website, you are not going to use ID. Nowadays nobody is going to use ID, because ID is specific for one thing. Always use class. There are many reasons. I'll tell you one of them. Not one, of course, a few. ID is mostly for JavaScript user. If JavaScript user are going to use any specific element in their JavaScript, they use ID. But when you are designing in CSS, always use class, because class you can use the same my headline in one page multiple times, but for ID you cannot use. If you select an ID here, you cannot repeat the same thing in the whole document, because ID is one identify or something. It should be unique. In one HTML document you have only one ID, which is the same thing. If this is my headline, it should be unique. You cannot write two headline with this two ID in one page. For example, if you have another one like this, you cannot put an ID here. Let me remove this one. This is something, it will work, of course it will work for now. As you can, okay, no, it is not working because there is not hash. Hash is the indication of ID, and that is, as you can see now, this is green, both of them are green. But when you validate your document, this is going to fail because you have two ID with the same value in your page, which is not a good idea. That's why you are not going to use ID, you are going to use class. There are some times you use ID, both of them are working, but try to use class because you are not compelled to use ID unless you are doing something very specific, which in some condition you use them, and I will show you which conditions when we go to the projects, when we make any projects. So if you have any question, feel free to comment under the video. I hope it has been informative for you, and thank you for watching.